Hey everyone, Jordan here with 9 to 5 Toys. So typically what you see is shot here in the studio, but I do still do quite a bit of freelance work, and I'll also travel for 9 to 5 Toys events like heading over to France to visit Focal's headquarters, or heading out to New York to visit Seth with Electrek. So I thought it'd be kind of interesting to do a what's in my backpack video, so you can get an idea of what I take with me when I'm shooting away from the studio. So let's check it out. Thanks for watching 9 to 5 Toys. Be sure to like, subscribe, and enable notifications with the bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Alright, so first off, let's start off with the actual backpack itself. This is one that I bought about a year ago. It's the Lowepro Pro-Tactic 450 AW. And you can still find this on Amazon for about $200, but I got a heck of a deal on it last year for $100. Lowepro had recently come out with an updated version of this, the AW2, which has some upgraded features, I think some additional padding in the back, and a larger access point here at the top of the backpack. But this one suited what I needed very well, and for $100, it seemed like a price that was too good to pass up, so I purchased this one and have been loving it for the last year. And the reason that I like this one so much is that it's pretty modular, and so it can be built out to whatever your shooting needs are. Obviously, you can see it does have the MOLLE strap system, so you can attach anything you want with that system. But Lowepro does include a few accessories with it. There is a tripod mount, a water bottle holder that goes here on the side, and then an additional accessory pouch where you can put anything into that you want. And you can strap those anywhere on the bag here. So you can put your tripod on the side or on the front, and we'll show you an example of that here in a little bit. Also included with that are these tie-down straps, which work really well with the tripod. The way the tripod mounts is just a little pouch. You put one leg in, and then you can attach it tightly with the strap here and just tie it down and make sure it's not going anywhere. So being a camera-centered backpack, one of the main features are these three different compartments that are quick access for different camera systems. So you can quickly open it up here, and you can see I've got my Sony in there. And then on the top, depending on how you have the interior configured, you can have a bigger body with a longer lens. So on the top here, I've got a 5D with a 70 to 200. So it just makes it very quick access. The side pockets you can access just by taking one shoulder strap off and kind of rotating in front of you, and you can take it out. So you can access your camera without even taking off your backpack, which is something really handy in run and gun situations. And then coming around to the other side here, some of the other features that I really like about this backpack are that there is a chest strap. So you can secure it, if you're riding a bicycle or a motorcycle, that helps to secure it so your straps don't come off when you're riding. And you can also, as you can see down here, there's a little pouch where you can feed through a waist belt. And that's what I really like about this backpack, is you can build it out for whatever situation you're in. So you can strip it down and not have any accessories on the outside, or I even took it on a 4-day motorcycle trip down in Baja, California. And it was perfectly fine to carry my photo equipment and some clothing, and I was very happy with how the backpack performed for that. And like I said, I think you can still get this on Amazon for about $200, or wait for maybe Lowepro do another special deal where you can get it for $100, or you can buy the newer, updated version of it for I think $225. So it's really a great backpack for that price. And as we're going through the rest of the gear, I'll point out some of the different pouches and compartments that are inside here. All right, so let's get it opened up and take a look at what gear we're going to be putting inside of here. So obviously this is a rear open camera backpack. So you can unzip the whole back, and you have all these customizable compartments for all of your different camera gear. Up top here in the main flap, you have a little SD card slot. You can slide some SDs in there. And then you also have another accessory pouch right here. We can put anything like headphones or additional batteries or anything like that you'd want to throw in there. And then over here on the other side, you can see we have three main compartments that are see-through, so you can see what's in there. You can see I still have my Jackery bolt charger in here. And then there is a laptop sleeve, a laptop compartment, which I think fits up to a 15-inch laptop, which I'm using a 15-inch MacBook Pro, and that fits in here perfectly. I had to take off the sleeve that I was using because that wouldn't fit. All right, so let's start getting into the gear that I use. So my main camera is the Sony a7S II. I used to shoot on Canon. My wife and I used to shoot weddings. We had a bunch of Canon bodies and glass, mainly the 5D Mark III. But because of all the video features of the Sony and the small form factor with the full frame visuals, I ended up switching to the A7S II a couple years ago. This is a Sony 50mm f1.8. So it's the basic, it's the little nifty 50 that's a gold standard. And that usually lives over here in that compartment. And then, like I said, we have a bunch of Canon glass. So everything from the 24 to 70 2.8 to the 70 to 200 2.8 to the 50mm 1.2. We have a bunch of Canon lenses, and so I got a Metabones smart adapter so that I can use that on the Sony body. So typically when I'm going out and shooting, the only one I'll take with me is the 24 to 70, sometimes the 70 to 200 depending on what I'm doing. But this one usually comes with me and it sits right here in that compartment. And then, of course, because Sony has notoriously bad battery life, I have 4 spare batteries that I'll put up here in this compartment, along with the charger, which I'll fit down here. And so because I am mainly shooting video, I pretty much always carry a variable neutral density filter with me. So the one that we have here is the Tiffin 77mm variable neutral density filter. And 77mm is the right size for the Canon 24 to 70 and the 70 to 200. And then with a step-up ring, I can put that on here and make it the right size so that it'll fit onto the Sony 50mm as well. So I'll just spin right on there. And I typically keep the neutral density filter in this little protective pouch just because it is glass and I don't want it to get scratched or anything. This is one of the low pro accessory pouches that you can attach to the backpack. So I'll keep some different accessories in there. And so I'll put the step-up ring in there. And put that over here on this side with the neutral density filter. And then another must-have is the lens pen. I think these are available for $8, and I usually take at least one, if not more, because they can be a little easy to lose. But basically, if you haven't seen this, the way it works, you can slide this out, and you can brush any debris off of your lens. And then once you have everything off, but if you still have some smudges on there, you can use this little scrubber to get all of these smudges off there. And it really is a lifesaver and a lens saver, and for $8, it really makes sense to have at least one with you, and that could be a great gift idea if you're looking for something for a photographer or videographer. So I often keep these in my pocket, but for now, we'll just put them in here. And like I had mentioned earlier, I'm still using the 15-inch MacBook Pro, one of the older ones, and so that'll fit perfectly into this sleeve up here. Just slides right in there. And then we'll put the charger. I often leave that up here at the top so I can access it if I need to at an airport or wherever I am. And obviously backing up footage while you're shooting or at the end of the day is crucial. So lately I've been using this G-Tech Armor ATD hard drive. Typically I had been using a Western Digital drive with a protective case for it just to, add a little bit extra protection. But with this Armor ATD drive, I don't feel like I need that protection. I feel like I can just put the drive in there. And so that's what I've been doing recently. It kind of cuts down on clutter a little bit. And typically that'll live over here somewhere. And I'll put the cable in there too. And for headphones, I typically have a pair of earbuds that just live in this backpack. I really don't use them anywhere else. It's really convenient for travel because they're so small, such a small form factor. These are Think Sound earbuds. And I can just leave them in the side pouch here, and I know that I always have some with me. They're not wireless, they're wired, but like I said, they're just always ready to go, and I have the little dongle adapter for my iPhone 8 already installed on there. And those typically live over here in this side pouch. But if I am going somewhere to edit for the day or I have some extra room in here, I will throw in a pair of over-ear headphones. Typically that's either the Audio-Technica ATH M50X that I've been using for a long time, or more recently I've been using these V-Moda Crossfade M100 Masters because they have a nice hard shell protective case. And when space allows, those will typically just live up here at the top. Typically for on-camera audio, I'll use a Rode VideoMic Pro. This actually came with the Sony when I bought it. It was a free addition to that. So this mic is nice because it's a pretty small form factor. I mean, the only thing, it takes batteries, so you do need to make sure that you have enough charge. But the batteries do last for a long time, so you don't have to change it often. So just remember to flip it off, and then typically lives somewhere over here in this compartment. And if I'm recording audio, what I usually use is this Zoom H1 handy recorder. You can see it's been through the ringer here. I've used it quite a bit. What I'll do is I'll plug one of these Rode Smart Lavs into that. And so I have two of those. And so if I just have one person talking, I'll just plug one into the handy recorder. And then if I have another person talking, I can use my phone as a recorder and plug the smart lav into that. And those typically live over here on this side, right underneath the other microphone. And I also shoot a lot of aerial footage. And so what I've been using and still use is the DJI Mavic Pro. This one still does well for me. I think you can get it for like $650 refurbished right now, which is pretty crazy. And the awesome thing about this is I can have it with me. You know, it takes up maybe the size of 1 or 2 lenses. And so to have something with this quality that can just, you know, fit in your backpack is awesome. So really enjoy the Mavic Pro. And that can just fit right up in here. We have a spare battery we can tuck down here with the lens pens. The charger we can put up on top here. And then I also have some ND filters that I use for the Mavic Pro just to help keep my shutter speed where I want it. And then some other accessories that I usually throw in here are a microfiber towel. You just never know when you need to wipe something down, something gets dirty. So it's always nice to have one of those in there. And then as I mentioned earlier, the Jackery Bolt charger. So this has a specific plug, a specific lightning plug for my iPhone. And so it's just always nice to have a little extra juice because you never know when you're going to need it when you're out in the field. And recently I picked up a little 5-inch monitor on Amazon. It'd be kind of like a competitor to a small HD, but obviously lesser quality. But for $160, it has some nice features built into it. You can do false color and peaking and a bunch of other stuff. And there's a lens shade that will Velcro here on the front. So if you're using it outside, you can do that. I've mainly been using it here in the studio, but it's also nice to have in the field, just to have a larger screen to view what you're capturing. And so to help protect the screen, I'll usually keep that in the bag that it came in. Fold that up, and we can tuck that in here. And then here's a little cold shoe mount, and this is what the arm attaches to for the monitor. We can tuck that in there, not on the screen side. And then we have an HDMI to micro HDMI to plug that into the Sony. And we'll tuck that in there. And then if I'm not doing any shooting, I'm just going to a coffee shop and editing. One thing that I like to take with me when I can is a mouse pad and a mouse. So this is the Razer Death Adder. And so that can just, you know, lay here on top. So if I have the room and I can do that, I will definitely take that. And as you can see, it still closes up on there pretty easy. So. And like we mentioned earlier, there's a tripod attachment. So if I'm going out, what this does is it has a little pocket in here. You can put one leg of your tripod in there, and then it has the system to connect to your backpack. So I'll put that on real quick. And strap that on there. And then with this strap up here, you can easily attach your tripod. And you can set that up on the side if you want, on either side. But then you can't really access the quick camera compartments. So I usually keep it on here on the back. And the tripod that I typically use is this Manfrotto. It's the MT190X Pro 4. I'll put a link to that down in the description so you can check it out. But I like it because it can get really tall, but then also still packs down pretty compact. And it has a fluid head on top. It doesn't have a ball head for getting it level, but that's something I was willing to sacrifice for the small form factor of it. So you can just put one leg in here. And then quickly strap it down. Put that on, and you're good to go. So that's a quick look at everything that I typically have with me when I'm on a shoot outside the studio. I'll put links to everything down in the description so you can check that out, or you can also head over to 9to5toys.com and check out the article, which also has links, and that's down in the description as well. So what are some must-haves for your camera backpack? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. This is Jordan with 9to5 Toys.